Welcome to our webinar today, 4 ways to create content that helps your SEO and converts leads. If this is your first time joining, again, welcome. This webinar is hosted by Local IQ. We are a multi-channel digital marketing agency that specializes in local marketing. Our digital marketing specialists help hundreds of businesses with SEO, paid search advertising, paid social, display advertising, and so much more, even website design. So rest assured you are in good hands today. Let me pull up our agenda for today. There we go. Awesome. So here's our agenda for today. To help you create content that helps your SEO and converts leads, we're going to cover 4 areas of the strategy. We'll discuss researching and incorporating targeted keywords naturally. We're going to talk about the art of creating high quality, informative content. We're going to talk about tools that you can use for visuals and interactive features. And then the last bit that we'll cover is talking about implementing clear and compelling calls to action, CTAs, and lead magnets in your strategy as well. I'm Brandon Griffin. I'm head of B2B marketing for Local IQ, and I'll be your presenter for today. Today's webinar is being recorded, and you'll receive the recording and the presentation slides in your inbox within 24 hours. So you'll be able to go through, again, at your leisure and slow down, speed up, or even click through some of the resources that I'm going to be sharing with you on today. And then if you have any questions, feel free to put them into that chat questions area, that same area where we were just talking through and you were introducing yourself. We've got some individuals on the background that are going to answer some of those questions. And I also have a Q&A segment towards the end of today's session where I'll answer some of those questions live as well. So great. So let's go ahead and jump in. Let's talk about first content. Content on the internet is essentially anything you see online, whether it's blog posts, videos, social media updates, or images, any type of content that's designed to share information or tell a story. And for businesses, it helps also to attract potential customers by providing like useful or engaging material that speaks to their needs or their interests. And by creating content that's relevant and optimized for search engines, businesses not only increase their visibility, but they also build trust and connect with their audiences and their prospective customers at the same time. So in the end, great content can turn a casual visitor into a loyal customer for your business if you do it right. And when it comes to SEO and lead conversion, content typically has 2 purposes, and that is number 1, to attract search engines, and number 2, to engage users. So while SEO helps your website get found, it's the quality of the content that really connects with people and makes your website trustworthy. Great content is key for making your website come up and ranking well in those search results, because it shows search engines like Google, like Bing, that your site is relevant and it's authoritative. And this is crucial because especially considering that like 68% of all online experiences start with a search engine. So think about that. When people go to their phone and when they sit down at their computer and they go to the internet, typically one of the first things that they're going to start doing is conducting a search to take them to whatever they're trying to find information, or however they want to start using their time. It's going to start with a search. In fact, there are more than 40,000 searches on Google every second. So just within those 2 seconds, there's like 80,000 Google searches. And it's very likely that the individuals conducting those searches could be your next customer. And so good content not only will boost the visibility of your business, but it'll help you convert those visitors into customers. And I think the last stat that I'll just share here is that typically the first organic search result has a click-through rate of nearly 40%, while PPC ads typically have 2%. And so what we really suggest to businesses is to have both. You want to have an organic SEO strategy, and you want to have a paid search strategy as well, because you can benefit from both when you show up on the search engine result page in that way. And again, by offering valuable information that meets potential customers, you're building trust, you're building engagement, and all of those things are going to lead to more sales. And when SEO and quality content work together, your website can attract people that are already interested in what you have to offer. And if people are already interested in what you have to offer, that's half the battle, right? And so you have even greater chances of turning them into loyal customers. And so content, when optimized with or optimized for SEO, it drives both traffic and revenue, which makes it the backbone of any successful online strategy, which, as we were talking about in the chats, an online strategy is ever evolving, right? It's ever evolving. Now, SEO is one of those topics that can seem to get very complex really fast. So if you're just starting out, it may be helpful to watch just one or all of these webinars that we have available on demand when you have time. These webinars will give you a lot of great background knowledge that can help make everything that we're going to be talking about moving forward make a little bit more sense. In fact, let me ask that question to you all, because I mean, SEO is a good basis of like why we're creating content and talking about this session today. I'll put a poll on, and you let me know, like, how much do you know about SEO? How much do you know about SEO? Are you a beginner? Are you at the intermediate level? Or do you see yourself as being an expert? It's always good to see that type of feedback. And I mean, if you're a beginner, that's okay. Again, I encourage you to go back and watch some of these webinars that we did for the SEO Masterclass, and it'll give you a good frame of reference. Okay, I've got some votes still coming through. All right, I'll give you 2 more seconds, and then I'll put the results up. All right, anyone else? Okay, wow, look at that. We are, I'll go ahead and close that poll and share the results. We are almost 50-50 with our audience today. Almost 50% beginners and almost 50% intermediate level, and we have a few experts in the house as well. So, so we've got a good mix. So again, today I'm going to try to, let me just get my screen back up. All right, there we go. So today, you see we have a mix. So I'm going to try to not go too fast nor too slow, because we've got a good mix of individuals on the call. Again, I just want to reiterate that today's call is being recorded. So if I'm going too fast or slow, you'll be able to go back through it at your own pace at a later time. All right, so with that, thank you for your participation on that. Let's go ahead and jump into the first tip. So the first tip in creating content that's going to help your SEO as well as convert leads is conducting keyword research and incorporating those naturally into your content. Now, keywords are the words or the phrases that people type into search engines like Google to find what they're looking for. And when it comes to SEO, keywords help search engines understand what your content is about and decide where to rank it on the search engine result pages. And so if you know what your audience is searching for, you can include those words in your content to boost its visibility in the search engine result pages. And so keyword research really does help you figure out what people are searching for, how often, and how it'll be to rank for those terms. Now, ideally, you want to target keywords that that lots of people are searching for, but aren't too competitive, right? And so here are some tools that can help. The first tool is SEMrush. It's really great for seeing keyword difficulty and the search volume and checking out what your competition is doing and where some opportunities may be for your business. We did a webinar a couple of weeks ago called Elevate Your SEO Game, where we featured one of our guest speakers was the managing editor of SEMrush. And so I encourage you to go and watch that webinar when you have some free time, because we talk about how SEMrush can be used to help you in implementing your SEO strategy. And also, if you are already a client with LocalIQ, SEMrush is one of the tools in our team's toolbox that we use every day as a part of the strategies that we help implement. So if you're doing, if your SEO strategy is being implemented by LocalIQ, don't worry, we are already incorporating SEMrush as a tool on your behalf. And then other tools that you can also use and consider include Google Keyword Planner that helps you discover keywords and showcase. It shows also the search volumes of certain keywords. And another popular tool that you probably will hear about is called Ahrefs, which is useful for analyzing competitors' keywords and then also finding gaps that your business can exploit. Now, once you have targeted keywords, it's important next to then to integrate them naturally into your content. And so this means including them in key areas such as titles, headings, and the body of your text. Now, by placing keywords in these strategic spots or these areas, your business will increase the likeliness of the search engines being able to recognize your content and understand that your content is relevant to what people are searching for, right? And then if it understands that, it's going to rank your content even higher. So here's some tips on how you can naturally weave keywords into your content and help boost your SEO. You want to place your main keywords in page titles like your H1s and your subheadings like your H2s, H3s, because search engines give these areas more weight. And then you want to make sure that the keywords fit naturally and clearly reflect the message of your page. Then you want to try to include your primary keywords within the first 100 words of your content, because that's going to signal to search engines that your page is relevant to the keyword right off the bat to what people are searching for. Number three, try to optimize your meta tags and your descriptions. You can use keywords in those areas because it's going to not only help the search engine understand your page, but it'll also help improve your click-through rate when people see those see your page come up in the search results, because what's in your meta tag and those descriptions is what helps feed the text that appears on those SERPs. Number four, try to sprinkle your target keywords throughout the page in a way that feels natural and easy to read. You want to avoid doing what we call keyword stuffing. If you haven't heard of keyword stuffing, that's when you just overload the text with too many keywords, and that's bad to do, because then you can hurt the readability of your website, of your landing page, and then even lead to some penalties with the search engines. One good rule of thumb is to try to aim for a keyword density of about 1 to 2%. And then the fifth tip for how to best place keywords onto your website, onto landing pages in a way that's going to help with your SEO and help you generate leads is to optimize the images that are on your website. You want to use relevant keywords in your image file names and the alt text that are set with images on your website, because search engines typically, especially pre-AI, can't see images, right? So alt text helps them understand the content, and that's going to boost your SEO in the process. So in a nutshell, incorporating targeted keywords in your content helps boost SEO and converts visitors into customers for your business. You want to do thoughtful keyword research, place them naturally throughout the content. You want to avoid keyword stuffing or overusing keywords. And if you do those things, you'll be able to reach your audience and grow your business more effectively. Now, again, I know that this is a lot of information. I'm probably going a little fast for some, but again, we've got the webinars that you can watch on demand to give you a little bit more background reference. And then you can watch also the playback of this and slow your speed down if you need. All right. So, and then I'll also say, if you have questions along the way, feel free to put them into the chat. And I've got some colleagues in the background that are answering some of those questions as we go. All right. So the second tip in creating content that'll help your SEO and help you to convert leads is to make sure your content is high quality and very, very informative. Now, Google uses what they call EEAT type principles to judge the content quality, especially for YMYL, which stands for your money, your life type topics like health and finance, because those types of topics affect people's well-being. With the EEAT type principles and guidelines, what that's saying is that your content should come from a knowledgeable people in the field. Your content should demonstrate real world experience. When people read the content, they should be able to see that the person writing it or your business has a good, strong reputation in the industry. And you also want to come across as trustworthy, right? So you want to make sure that you're really transparent. And if you are writing content and you're speaking about facts and statistics, you want to make sure you can back up those claims by linking to reliable sources. And all of that is important, again, because Google prioritizes high quality, reliable content to give users the best information. So content that follows this EEAT guidelines will typically rank higher in search results. And YMYL type content, again, is held to a higher standard because it significantly impacts people's lives. So if your business is in one of those industries where you're giving people advice as it relates to health or finances, then you probably definitely want to make sure you look into the YMYL type principles as well. So to break this down, and some tips that you can use to create high quality content using some of these guidelines. Number one, you want to provide valuable insights. Go deeper than surface level information, right? Offer practical solutions and real life examples whenever you can, because that can genuinely help your audience. Instead of just skimming the topic, you want to try to break things down that your business can talk about and break it down into actionable tips that people can use like right away. And that's not only going to make your content stand out, but it's also going to build trust with your customers. Number two, think about the questions that your audience is likely searching for, and make sure your content provides solid, well-researched answers, right? Because that can boost the chances of ranking higher in the search results, or even appearing in Google's People Also Ask section. You know, when you search on Google and then it also gives you some recommendations of some other things that you may be searching for. Well, if you answer common questions on your website, it increases the likeliness of your business showing up in those areas. Next, you can try to add structured data like schema markup to help search engines better understand what your content is about. And if you utilize things like schema markup, that can lead to your content even also being appearing on Google in the areas like that are called rich snippets. And so rich snippets are those eye-catching, enhanced search results that you sometimes see show up at the top of Google. And if you want to come up in that area, again, it's a great place to try to come up in because it's going to increase your visibility, give you more traffic to your website, and you can achieve that by using structured data as a part of some of your content's makeup. And then just some final ones here. You definitely want to try to establish the author expertise whenever possible throughout the content on your website. Make sure that the credentials and or the relevant experience that a person has can be easily viewed alongside the content that they're creating, because that trust is going to help boost trustworthiness, as well as let Google know that the person behind the information knows what they're talking about. And then the last tip of these 5 ways you can incorporate high quality content into your strategy would be to make sure that you're always including sources and citations. You want to back up the claims that you have in your content with reliable sources. Again, especially for those YMYL type topics, because Google will want to know that this information is well researched and credible before they put you before the people that are using their website. So again, all of this is important because when you combine the EEAT type principles with well optimized content, you create a win-win situation for your business where you rank higher in search results, and then you build lasting credibility as well with your audience that can lead to more sales. Again, if you need more information about these type of principles, I encourage you to watch that webinar that I mentioned called Elevate Your SEO, because we go into this whole concept a little bit more on it. All right. Another strategy that you can do for your business is use something called topic clusters. They're a great way to put all those keywords that you just did research on and that you just found to work in this phase, right? Topic clusters are groups of web pages used to establish authority around a particular subject, especially in the eyes of search engines. Now, each topic cluster typically includes like a pillar page, and that pillar page provides a broad overview of a certain topic. And then this pillar page links to and is also linked from other pages called cluster pages. And that covers like associated subtopics. So for example, a travel site like we have here may have a topic cluster around Disney World holiday planning, and that's their main pillar page. But then they also break out into different subtopics or cluster pages. And so this one breaks out into how to budget for Disney World, when to travel to Disney World, and best hotels in Disney World that your family probably can stay in. So they take this big topic and they break it down into cluster pages. And so this is actually a really good, effective way to educate your potential customers in a digestible way, but also sends good signals to search engine result pages too, that makes your business more likely to show up. So how do you implement this for your business? 3 quick, easy steps, and that is, first, you just got to choose a topic to base your content cluster around. You could choose a topic that should be broad enough to warrant several pieces of content, but not so broad that the cluster becomes oversized and unfocused. Secondly, you'll want to conduct keyword research, as we already talked about. And then finally, once you've planned out your topic cluster, you can then begin to create all that quality content that your team may be able to do. Generally, it's a good idea to start with your pillar page. This is the page that provides a broad overview of whatever your core topic is. And then it's also like the foundation for your topic cluster. And then you can create other pages, or at least have your other pages in mind that you may want to create. So first publish your pillar page, and then you can create all those cluster pages at your own pace. But of course, the sooner you publish your content, then the sooner Google can index what your website is talking about and start showing you in all those search engine result pages on Google, on Bing, etc. Again, here is a quick blog that you'll be able to go to and access on our website when you receive the slides. It talks about how to use pillar content as a part of your digital marketing strategy. So that's a helpful resource. And then also some other great tools to go along with, if you haven't heard of them, include answerthepublic.com and also ask.com. And so if you go there, you type in a keyword, and it'll give you back a lot of the who, what, and when, and how type questions that people are asking that you can then use when you're brainstorming for pillar and cluster type pages and topics. So hopefully you found that helpful. All right, now the next tip and way and strategy to create content that helps SEO and converts leads is to make sure that you're also including visuals and interactive elements in your content. So that's tip number 3. And here, I just want to reiterate that like engaging formats and visual content play a key role in converting visitors into leads for your businesses. And that's because visual content is not only, it makes your content and your website and your business more memorable, but it also has a great impact on that audience too. And when they feel connected and they trust your brand, they're more likely to convert. And so when you're beginning to implement visuals and interactive elements into your website and into your content, some things that you want to remember is number one, try to avoid using generic stock images, because visuals are really important, but if you use generic or low quality stock images, sometimes it can have the opposite effect. So you want to invest in custom visuals or high quality stock images that align with your brand and your message. So here's an example. So if your business, for example, does the roof lights, the windows in the roof that lets the light in, instead of focusing in and showcasing pictures like this top one that just shows the window itself, you may want to try to get a professional photographer and actually take pictures so that your customers can see what their life will be like once they actually purchase and implement your product into their life. So for this particular business, they go from focusing in on the product itself, the window, to wow, this is the effect that it can have in your living space when you install this window into your home. So that's a great way of how to use just a professional image instead of just the generic stock images that you may typically have. And then another thing to remember is to ensure that the visuals that you're using are accessible to like all users, including those with disabilities. And so in order to do that, you want to use alt text for images and even captions for videos, because that will not only make your content inclusive, but it will also help improve your SEO. Because again, those search engines, even YouTube for videos, look at the alt text, they look at the captions, they look at those meta tag descriptions to help understand what your content is about and when they should serve your content to people that are searching for it. And then here are some tools that you'll find useful when you're trying to make your content more engaging and more interactive. One popular tool that you probably have heard about is Canva. It's an easy to use design tool. It helps you create infographics, presentations, and a lot of other visuals without needing to have a whole lot of advanced design skills. Another tool which is really good, is called Lumen 5. And Lumen 5 helps you create videos from blog posts or written content. It uses AI to convert that text into short videos by auto-selecting visuals and adding music. So that's a really good tool to check out. Another one is called Typeform. Typeform lets your business create interactive quizzes and surveys that encourages users to engage with your content, stay on your website longer. We use that a lot here with some of our surveys and report tools here at LocalIQ. So I encourage you to check that out. And then two others really quickly would include Visme, which is great for infographics, presentations, videos. And then another one is playbuzz.com that allows you to incorporate interactive quizzes, polls, and stories as well into your website. And a lot of them offer customizable templates that make it really easy for you to get involved with, even if you don't have a lot of design experience. So those are some tools that you can use to just, again, increase user engagement on your website and enhance the overall experience, making your website and your content more effective in converting visitors to leads. All right, so the final fourth tip that we're going to talk about today and how you can use content that you create to help your SEO and convert leads would be to make sure that you're using compelling CTAs and lead magnets as a part of your strategy to drive action among all the people that are coming to your website. Now, CTAs, again, calls to action. Basically, it's a prompt that encourages people to take action, like signing up for a newsletter or requesting a quote or registering for a course that your business might be offering to educate the market. It's a key tool that you can use to turn those people who are just browsing into potential leads or customers. And now the goal is to typically make your CTA clear and compelling so that people actually do what you want them to do, whether it's to fill out a form or to make a purchase. And in any campaign, it's the CTA that guides your audience through their journey, helping them to gather the information that they need and helping you to drive that specific result, whatever it is that your business is trying to achieve. To write an effective CTA, you want to keep it concise, you want to make it memorable, and you want to focus on getting people to act. Here's a blog on our website. Again, you can click through once you receive the slides. That'll show you very perfectly how to write a good CTA. And it talks about these 6 steps, and I'll give you just a quick summary. You want to, number 1, use strong verbs like shop, join, click, because those strong action words guide people to do essentially what your business wants them to do. You want to make sure that you keep it low risk. Help people know upfront that by taking action on this call to action, it's not a huge commitment, right? It's only going to take a few moments of their time. So try to bring that to the forefront. You want to be persuasive, use compelling language that highlights the benefits, like how your business and how this offer is going to help them save money, or anything to that effect. Number 4, you want to make sure that you're adding phrases like limited time offer, because that's going to encourage people to take quick action. And when you're doing this, you also do want to trigger like that FOMO, that fear of missing out. So you want to create urgency in that way when you're building out the CTAs. A couple of other things that you want to do is to make sure that your CTA stands out. You want to use like bold designs, make your CTA like green or red. You want to use those colors that are going to get their attention. And don't forget that sometimes space around your CTA is really important as well to drive attention to it. So you want to make sure that your website and your landing page and your content is not so crowded, and that you let your CTA, you give it some room so that it can breathe. And then once you have your CTAs out there and a part of your content, you want to just try to track as much data as you can, so that way you understand what works, what doesn't work, so that way you can continually adjust it and try to get better results. So again, remember, when you're working with CTAs, you can use it across all your platforms, all types of content. So these best practice tips here is transferable. So again, I've already mentioned this resource, you've got that. And then one other thing that I want to mention is, don't forget about lead magnets, because they can be very effective to helping your business drive people to respond. And a lead magnet pretty much is a valuable piece of content that you offer in exchange for someone's contact details, like usually their email address. And so think of it as like a friendly trade. You give them something that they really want, and then they'll give you a way to to stay in touch with them. And that's really important because lead magnets are really great for growing email lists. And having email lists is like pretty much a direct line to potential customers, and email marketing gives you a huge return on investments. We see that a lot working with a lot of our customers across a lot of different industries. Plus, people who grab your lead magnet are interested, obviously, in what you're offering. So they're more likely to be your future customers. And by sharing the valuable insights and information, you're also showing that you're an expert and you're building trust with your audience at the same time. So it is a win-win situation. So to help create lead magnets that are irresistible, I encourage you to focus on these key things. You want to be a problem solver. Your lead magnet should really address the pain points. So if the customer struggles with snacking, you may want to offer them a guide to healthy snacks. Or if gym equipment overwhelms them, sometimes you just want to offer them a simple body weight workout plan or something like that. Those simple things can be very powerful when you are trying to focus in on the pain point of the customers. And then very quickly, you want to make sure that your lead magnet delivers value, not fluff. You want to keep it brief, make it concise. Sometimes a checklist or a video can be more effective than a lengthy ebook. You want to make sure that it looks good, visually appealing, and you also want to make sure that you give it a catchy title, because the title is often the first impression of your lead magnet, so you really want to make it count. So follow these tips and you'll be on your way to creating lead magnets that really work. And the last bit, and you can consider this like a bonus thing, I would encourage you to make sure that you're using GA4 to track the conversions and your CTAs for your website and with your business, because it's a really great tool. GA4, and there's a webinar here again. If you need some more background or reference information, you can take a look at it. GA4 has some key tracking features that'll let you track events such as the CTAs, form submissions, videos that people are watching on your website. You can match those conversions to business goals like lead generations or sales or signups that your business has. And then also GA4 has enhanced user journey reporting that's going to allow you to follow the entire customer journey from the first time a person comes to your website to that final conversion. And that's going to help you understand how users are interacting with those CTAs at different stages of the journey. And with all of this information, you'll be able to optimize your process and get people to that sale and that conversion quicker. So hopefully this is helpful for you. And again, if you need more background information about GA4 or want to go through it in more depth, I encourage you to watch this particular webinar. All right, so today we covered some critical strategies, right, to improve both your SEO and lead conversion rates through effective content creation, keyword integration, engaging formats, and even optimizing CTAs and lead magnets. So we've covered a lot. I know I've gone probably quite fast for some, but again, you can watch this replay when you get the recording in your inbox on tomorrow. And then also, as a final takeaway on our website, I'll put the link in the chat. Let me go ahead and do that now. Let's see, send that to entire audience. There we go. All right, so I just put this link in the chat. We offer a free SEO website audit, and it's a tool that's designed to give an in-depth analysis of your website's performance across the most critical SEO ranking factors. And it's going to evaluate your website against 100 different key metrics. So if you don't do anything else after watching today's webinar, I encourage you just to click that link and try out the SEO website audit, because it's going to give you a good, you could call it like a report card and a scorecard, along with some actionable tips that you can then take to your team to say, hey, I've got a score of our website and how we're faring with SEO, and here are some things that we really need to tackle and get taken care of. So I really encourage you to do that. I mean, it's a simple to use resource. Just put in your website, and then it'll highlight some actionable steps for you. Awesome. So I know I've gone quickly, but we've got a few more minutes, and you all have been great in the chat, sending questions through. So I want to make sure that I answer some of those questions that have come through, and some of them have already been answered by our team. So definitely appreciate that. One of the questions that I have here as we move to this Q&A segment is how can I determine the best format to use for my specific audience? The best content format to use for my specific audience? That is a really good question. You know, understanding your audience's preferences is key. And so I would encourage you to use tools like Google Analytics, as we talked about, to analyze past performance of different types of content, like the blogs and the videos and the infographics that you may have on your website. Additionally, you can conduct surveys, use the Typeform interactive feature that we talked about, and you can use that and other A/B type testing strategies, because those can reveal which formats lead to the most engagement as well as conversions for your business. And then you want to tailor your content format based on what resonates with best with your target demographic. So good question there. Another question that's come through, and feel free to keep typing your questions in if you have them. One last question here. What are some common mistakes businesses make when trying to improve SEO with content? Great question there. So a few common mistakes that businesses typically make, I would say, includes when they focus solely on keywords without prioritizing user experience, because sometimes that can create thin or low quality type content that lacks depth, and sometimes businesses even neglect optimizing their website and their content for mobile, because a lot of people are using their cell phones these days, and so you want to try to steer clear of that. Other common mistakes, sometimes businesses rely too much on keyword stuffing. You don't want to do that. And you also don't want to ignore things like the page load speed, because those are things that can harm your SEO efforts. So we talk about a lot of these mistakes and best practices in that SEO Masterclass webinar series that I talked about at the start of our session. Awesome. So I want to be mindful and respectful of everyone's time. Again, thank you so much for spending the last 45 minutes or so with me. I hope that you found this webinar to be helpful. As you exit today's webinar, there's a quick survey. Just let us know how you felt today's content and the pace was, and you can even let us know that if you feel like you have some more questions or need some help from our experts here at Local IQ to help your business with your SEO or content strategy. Just let us know in that survey as you exit, and we'll make sure we'll follow up. And again, I hope that you found today helpful. We've got a host of other webinars and resources available on demand on our website if you have more questions and or just want to take your knowledge to another level. So again, thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to see you on a future Local IQ webinar. Talk to you soon.